We're good? All right, hello everybody. My name is Travis Scheibmeyer. I'm a senior here at Frisco High School, and this is my first year in ISM. I'm doing corporate sponsorship this year, a mix between my mom's influence and my desire for sports. I feel like sports is something I can be passionate about my entire career. And so a little bit about me. I'm in DECA and BPA. They're both little business competitions in the school. I'm part of Young Men's Service League, which Jacob is also a part of. We go around and volunteer in the community with our moms, stuff like that. I've played basketball all 4 years here at the high school. If you want to come out tonight, we got a game. I've been working at Cinemark for a year and a half. I tear tickets every Saturday, so if you want to stop by, I'll be there. I'm the president of my youth group at my church in Plano. And then hopeful plans is go to the UT and go to McCombs Business School. The picture top left is my family in front of the Coliseum. We went to Europe last year. The picture below it is on a mission trip. That was my kid from our mission trip. We do like a kids camp when we go up there. And then although my mentor is from the Cowboys, or both of them are, I am a New York Jets fan. They'll be playing the Cowboys December 19th, and they will win. So my first interview was with Joe Simler, my first mentor. He does corporate sponsorship for the Dallas Cowboys. The first thing he taught me was to be able to face rejection. He started out in ticket sales, which is pretty much every day you go in and call people over and over, hey, do you want these tickets? And you face rejection nonstop. And he said that ability to be able to face rejection has gotten him so far because he doesn't get too personal with his sponsorship, and so he's able to move on if something isn't working out or if they just don't want it in general. And another way was to think of creative ways to be a sponsor. Since the Cowboys have been around so long and since they're like one of the most profitable organizations, they have so many sponsors already. So one of his main challenges in his job is to be able to think of new ways to come up of how they can sponsor them, whether that be like a fun run or a calendar or whatever. And so I can learn from that and just be able to be creative and think of outside of the box ideas that no one else has thought of. My second interview was with Eddie Hicks, Jacob's dad. He's VP of sales for Dr. Pepper Snapple Group. One of the main points he emphasized was working up from the bottom. In college, he worked as a bottler for Dr. Pepper and then was a route truck driver. And then as soon as he got out of college, they gave him a company corporate job. And then he just worked his way up from there to where he is right now as a VP of sales. I can learn that because even though coming out of business school, I want the highest paying job I can find, yada yada, but I know that if I work hard from the bottom or even take an entry-level job, I can make it to the top anyways. Another thing he said that was really important was client relations. I did a research assessment on this, and it's about 8 times easier and more cost-effective to keep a client than it is to get a new one. He said he keeps his clients entertained through dinners or charity events or just going golfing with them. And so being able to keep those relationships up has really helped him along in his career. My third interview was with Scott Gaines. He's the head of marketing and sales for Microsoft. The first time I tried to interview with him, he had a meeting that ran over, and so I was left there stranded like, hey, where is he? Did I just get left? But he texted me and was like, yeah, my meeting ran over. Let's just meet another time. So when I finally did get to meet with him, he was a really nice guy. The first question I asked was, well, tell me a little bit about what you do. And the first thing he said was, well, I manage about 30,000 people. And I was just like, wait, what? Like, try not to be intimidated when someone says that. But one thing I learned from him is the idea of conscious capitalism. It's basically the idea of when you're a boss, just letting ideas roam free, having an open workplace, not trying to be too harsh and just yelling at your employees, not being like a hard nose. And I did a research assessment, and it showed that this is also like a more productive, effective way of being a boss. It helps profits grow, stuff like that. Another thing he said was learn from mistakes. Not only your mistakes, but other people's mistakes. So he said throughout his career, he's made a few mistakes here and there when he was at a lower level, but also he was able to learn from other companies' mistakes and be able to capitalize on that and take advantage. My fourth interview was with my other mentor, Charles Johnson. He does corporate sponsorship for the Dallas Cowboys. I handed him my resume, and he's like, your resume is really good, but here's a few things that you can do to improve. He just told me the power of a resume, because when you're in a marketing or sales job, you're not only trying to like get the job, you're selling yourself to them. And so this is your way to present how good you are at selling something in another way. And then the other thing he said was, do your homework. Doing your homework, not like schoolwork, stuff like that, but for his job, he has to do a lot of research. He doesn't want to be a partner or a sponsor with someone who would tarnish the Cowboys' image or anything like that. So he has to be careful, does weeks of research on a company, see if they can both work out a great agreement to come to. And then my fifth interview was with David Newman, Taylor's dad. He's a Chief Insights Officer at Crossmark. One of the main things he said, well, actually, his job's a little different than all of the other ones I've interviewed. What he does is pretty much like logistics of a marketing kind of standpoint. So he'll analyze what you buy on a receipt, and then what you like a product, and then see what you typically buy with that product, and then he'll suggest to the store to, hey, put this product next to that product and you'll increase profits. So that's what he does. And he said competition is everything. Does that surprise you, Taylor? No. So pretty much he said competition with yourself to push yourself to be better, competition with other companies to make your company stand out more, and he said present something unique. You don't want to be just plain old Joe coming out of college looking for a job. You want to be able to add something unique to that company or come up with unique ideas to another company. All right. For my original work, I plan to do all the research required to make a proposal to a potential sponsor for the new practice facility for the Cowboys, and hopefully to a company that's coming in to the $5 million mark, or just a new company in Frisco. Since it is loaded with a bunch of new companies here and there coming into Frisco, I want to be able to say like a nice welcome, like, hey, welcome to Frisco. You want to be part or a sponsor of one of the biggest, most profitable franchises. The research I'll have to do in this is the company's history, like my fourth interview said, or my mentor said, was just to make sure you go thoroughly through everything, their history, make sure they don't have any dirt on them, because you don't want anything to tarnish their image or the Cowboys' image. And then what tier of sponsorship, whether that be, hey, we want to pay a lot to put our name on the stadium, or hey, we want our name across one of these signs, or we just donate a little bit so we can be on the calendar, something like that. And then what can they sponsor, whether it be the calendar or other things like that. And then my quote to end this off is, believe in yourself, and there will come a day when others have no choice but to believe in you. And this quote really tells me, like, hey, silence the haters. Only you know what you can do. And so push yourself through no matter what anyone else says, and you can succeed. Thank you. Short, wasn't it?